Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you a reading vlog in which I've tried to read 4 books in a single week, that is in the first week of November itself. I decided to film a reading vlog during this particular week because it was completely raining the whole week from the 1st of November to the 7th of November. I'm filming this intro on the 7th of November. I'm sure that the rain will be continuing for a few more days also. The atmosphere was really good and it just provided me a great ambience for the books that I selected to read. I actually totally selected 4 books and I ended up finishing 3 of them. The 4 books are Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, The Secret of the Nagas by Amish Tripathi, The House in the Cerulean Sea by Klune, and at last I decided to read a few volumes of the manga Shaman King. I ended up finishing 1 physical book, 1 audiobook and 1 ebook, which is a really good sum if you ask me. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the vlog right away. Hey guys, it's 7 p.m. on Monday and I don't know why I just chose to make a weekly vlog during the week of Diwali, so you might hear some cracker bursting sometime. So please bear with me. I'll talk about the books that I've started. Okay, this is November 1st and I've started 3 new books. The first one is an ebook and it is the second book in the Shiva trilogy, which is The Secret of the Nagas. It is actually available in Tamil in Kindle Unlimited, so I just went forward and started reading it. I'm like 12% into the book, and just like the first book itself, the second book is also very fast paced. I'm pretty sure that I'll be finishing it by the end of this week itself. And when it comes to the audiobook, I'm listening to The House in the Cerulean Sea by Klune. I've been wanting to read that book ever since the beginning of this year, and I did not buy a paperback copy at all because I wanted to buy a hardcover. And since the audiobook itself is available in Storytel right now, I'll just listen to the audiobook, and if I feel that it is that much worth it, I'll just purchase a hardcover copy later on sometime. And the physical book that I'm actually reading right now is this one, which is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm actually listening to the audiobook and following on with the physical copy. The author herself has narrated the book, and I can say that she has one of the most pleasing and pleasant voices that I've ever heard for any narrator. And I'm just like 60 pages into the book and it is very enchanting rather than anything. That's the best word that I can use to describe my experience so far into the book, and I can say that I'm completely enjoying it. I'm having some other things also to do today, and I waited until night today because I had one book arriving today and I wanted to unbox it in front of you guys because it's one of the books which you've been asking me to read for quite a while right now, and I said that I'll be buying only a hardcover copy of the book and then start reading. So yeah, I'll just show you what the book is right now. So yes guys, this is the package, and I thought that the hardcover will actually be a bit bigger in size, but it is very short. I'm a bit disappointed with that, but it doesn't matter if the book is really good. So I'll just open the package and show the book to you. The book is really beautiful, just as I expected, and for those of you guys who guessed what book it is before I even show it to you, please do comment below because I want to know whom of you guys have actually listened to me talking about this specific thing in my last live show. The book is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I've actually ordered quite a few more Matt Haig books in my Book Chores Lock the Box order. They'll also be arriving pretty soon in like a couple of weeks or so. I'll do an unboxing separately for that. Before that, I wanted to have this in my hand, and it was also available for under 500 rupees for one day alone, so I just went forward and purchased it. Just see how beautiful the cover is. It is not big. I expected that it would be big for a hardcover copy, but it is not big. It is short in size, but it is just very beautiful. Minimalistic and beautiful. That's the thing which I like about this cover. We just remove the jacket and see how it looks naked. Yes guys, it just looks very completely green. It's just a matte finish. There is nothing else printed on the cover. Actually, it doesn't even have the name on the spine. I've never seen any book like this at all before. all the books that I have on my shelf have their name in the spine, and this is the first ever book that I'm going to have without a spine. And there's this specific thing which just intrigued me a lot while I just browsed through the hardcover copy of the book, and it is this one, which is like a printout of a library card. I thought that it would be a card, but it is not. It's just a 3D art. It just feels like it is there, but it is not. It's just a picture. So yes guys, I'm totally excited to get into this, and once I start reading it, I'll definitely review it separately in the channel also, because I've heard nothing but really great things about this book. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to read it by the end of 2021 or not, but I'm super sure that I'll be reading it very soon. Let's just hope that it happens sooner. Hey guys, it's Wednesday night and it's just the night before Diwali, so if you hear any background noises of crackers or children playing, please do bear with me, because it's so exciting and people are just very happy, okay? And it just feels good to be in that vibe. And I started 3 books on the beginning of the month, that is on Monday, and by now I finished one alone, which is Eat, Pray, Love. Trust me, everyone that talked about this book from whom I took it as a recommendation just talked really positive things about this, and I cannot say how much they have understated it, okay? It just felt very fulfilling and so happy to read this memoir, and I can say that this is definitely one of my most favorite non-fiction reads of the year. I'm also going to recommend this many times in the future, and I can see myself rereading this a couple more times in the future as well. I don't know, I might even reread this year itself. Now, I listened to the audiobook while following on with the physical copy, because the audiobook was narrated by the author herself, and she just has this very mystical voice, okay? And the way in which she actually narrates her story, it is super engaging, and the way she talks many things, and there are also some phrases of Italian in the first third of the book. Everything that she does with her voice as an instrument just adds on different layers for the book as a whole. And if you ask me, I'd highly suggest the audiobook rather than just the physical book, because always listening to memoirs in the voices of the authors itself is really amazing. I've listened to a couple of memoirs in such a way, and I've always loved them more rather than just physically reading them by myself. So yeah, this is obviously a 5-star read for me, and I cannot describe how much I love this book now. And after reading this book, it just gave me that sensation of I want to meet this author and talk with her in person for at least half an hour, okay? It just felt that good for me. I'm sure that my reading for the month of November is definitely going to be good, because I've started with such an awesome book. While reading this, guys, I just wanted to have some break because my phone ran out of charge and I could not listen to the audiobook. So in the evening, I went forward and continued with on my reread of How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole Pera. I've actually not got that much far into the book yet. I've just read like 70 pages or so, and within that itself I'm able to absorb a lot of things. I've been reading this for over 1 month now, not continuously, but just in bits and pieces whenever I get the time, and I just thought of including it inside the vlog. If you didn't know, this is definitely still the best non-fiction book that I've read so far this year, and I don't think it'll be surpassed by any other book in the rest of the 2 months of the year also. So yeah, this is definitely a must read if you ask me. I don't say any book as a must read at all on my channel, but trust me, if you read this book, you'll be able to learn a lot more about you, especially your past, okay? You'll just be able to understand how much you not understood and not realized from your past really well after reading this book. So please do give it a try. And when it comes to the audiobook and the ebook, I'm actually halfway into The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and I understand why people love this, okay? It is such a cute, heartwarming book. I don't have any strong feelings yet, but I'm super engaged with the story and I love all the characters, okay? All the characters are just so cute and I just want to give them a huge hug. They just feel like that. After finishing up the book, I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, or if I finish it within this vlog itself, I'll talk about it in this video itself. And I think I will be buying the physical copy, just as I said before in the video itself. Finally, moving on to the ebook, which is The Secret of the Nagas by Amish Tripathi. That is the second book in the Shiva trilogy. I'm also 1/3 into this book. I'm reading it a bit slow, but I think I'll be able to finish it by Friday. Let's just wait and see. This is also just as good as the first book. I can say that it's even a bit better and for any person who's not from India and wants to read something that is closely tied in with ancient Indian culture, please, they should read this, okay? If people who are not Indian read this book, I'm sure they'll be able to understand how rich and practical a culture that we have in our country, and I'm just feeling so proud and happy while reading this book. It is also thrilling, fantastical, and mythologically woven together. While I'm reading this book, it doesn't feel like I'm reading a tale about Shiva, but he's just a normal human being from his point of view. So far, I'm enjoying the book very much. If it goes really well, I'm planning to finish the series also this month itself. Let's just wait and see if it's going to happen or not. Hey guys, this is the evening of November 7th, which is Sunday. I'm giving an update only now after the night on Wednesday because I did not feel like making any updates in the days in between also, and it was raining very heavily. I'm actually filming the intro as well as outro for this vlog right now, and by this time I finished two books. One is an audiobook and the other is an ebook. The audiobook which I finished is The House in the Cerulean Sea by Takei Klune. I can say that this is literally one of the sweetest books that I've ever read. In the beginning of the video, I said that if I like the book enough, I'll buy a hardcover later on and read it again. I'm sure that I'm going to buy a hardcover of this book sometime in the future and reread it at least once because it was really sweet and super cozy. Each and every character that is written by Takei Klune in this one is very unique and so sweet, okay? The powers that these kids have inside that house and the way in which their characters are framed by him and how he just shows them as children to us, okay? Though they have some really dark and dangerous powers, they are just children at the end of the day, and it just makes so much sense. This is a very comforting book, and if you want to read something super cozy for the end of the year, please do go forward and try this. I'm just a bit sad that I did not read this physically, because if I had read this physically, I would have just annotated this book crazily. It is easily a 5-star book for me, and I'm so glad that I read it in the beginning of November itself. And when it comes to the ebook, I actually read a manga, and it is the 6th volume of Shaman King by Hiroyuki Takei. I've been actually reading this manga ever since September. I did not read it in October at all. So I'm planning to read a few volumes at least this month. I can say that the 4th and 5th volumes have been wonderful compared to the first 3 volumes, because only in the 4th volume we started getting scenes and content that involve the actual shaman fight, and it is super interesting. If you like fantasy as well as Japanese mythology, I'm sure that you will enjoy this completely. It is fast-paced, action-packed and philosophical also in multiple instances. I'm completely enjoying it. I actually rated the 5th volume 4 stars. I have not reached the 5-star mark yet in this manga so far, but I hope that it will happen sometime in the near future itself. So yes guys, this is the end of the vlog, and if you did enjoy watching today's vlog, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.